Man United have only got 2 points from our last 2 home Premier League games, a 1-1 against Stoke and a 0-0 against Burnley. In those 2 games collectively, we've had 61 shots. We've had 32 corners. Yet we've only got 1 goal to our name. And for me, there's one man at the centre of all of that right now, and that is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And I wanted to do this video on why I feel Zlatan Ibrahimovic has to be dropped and rotated in a squad which has a wealth of attacking options. Now, the first thing to note here is that it is definitely not just Zlatan that is the problem, because Man United are creating chances left, right and centre, and Man United's players are missing them. But as Zlatan is our sole striker in a formation which only has 1 forward, we need him to be burying the chances. And if you look at our recent games, Zlatan is off form. You know, you start off with a Stoke at home where he missed a sitter from a couple of minutes into the game. If that had gone in, I think it would have been a 4 or 5-0 match. Then you look at Liverpool away. Pogba floated a perfect cross into Zlatan. And it wasn't the easiest of chances, but for a man who's built up a reputation of being so clinical in different leagues across Europe, he has to be at least getting that on target. Then you look at Chelsea away, when he towered over Azpilicueta at the back post with a header. Again, he should have at least got that on target. And, you know, and then you look at Burnley, and this is the one where the frustration has come out the most from Man United fans. Zlatan had 12 shots in that game. He missed countless opportunities. Tom Heaton, to his credit, had an absolute worldie of a game. But that particular chance right at the end when Paul Pogba floated in like a David Beckham-esque cross right to the back stick, and Zlatan completely fluffed his lines. Now, had any of these chances gone in, it could have changed so much for United. Right now, we're 7 points off 4th. You know, had he scored that against Stoke, had he scored it against Liverpool, had he scored these against Burnley, we would be more towards third place in the league. That's the small margins that Man United are going towards right now. And you see this game against Burnley, we had 37 shots, we had 12 on target, I believe, and we had 0 goals. Now, Man United's problems under Louis van Gaal and David Moyes is we haven't been creating enough. Under Jose Mourinho, at least in the home games, we are creating chances aplenty, but we're just not finishing them. And Zlatan is on his worst goal-scoring run of form since 2006-07. He's now not scored since September the 10th. And since that time, he's had 42 shots, which is more than any other player has had in total this season in the Premier League. And he hasn't scored in that time. And the reason I'm asking for Zlatan to be dropped is because if this was Wayne Rooney, if this was Martial, if this was Rashford, if this was anybody else, we would be asking for them to be dropped in the same vein, because Man United have options this season and we've got to start using them. I'm getting pretty sick and tired of seeing Marcus Rashford stuck out on the left. He's getting exhausted there, running around and trying to create opportunities when I feel that he should be playing centrally. And if Zlatan was bang on form and he was banging the goals in like he was at the start of the season when he was on a great run of form, then yes, of course Rashford has to accommodate for him. But Mourinho has got to rotate this squad around. A big problem under Van Gaal and Moyes was that Rooney was pandered to. He would always play no matter how bad he was playing. And eventually he would come good and he would score, but it would hurt us in those games in between. And I just feel that Man United have got so many attacking options this season that we shouldn't be sticking with one. We should be, you know, Mourinho is rotating that midfield. He's trying to find out where his best midfield is and where his best players are played. Zlatan on paper is our best striker right now, but if you've got Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial, 2 players who were so good last season under Louis van Gaal, why would you stick with Zlatan and just stick with Zlatan and not even try these other options? That's what I don't want to see us doing. And I feel it's hurting Marcus Rashford. Anthony Martial at the moment is injured apparently. There's not been actually any real confirmation of it, but we're presuming he is because he's not in the squad. Martial last season when he started was prolific up front. He got marshalled out to the left wing and he was just as prolific there. He's obviously far more naturally adept at playing on the left wing than Marcus Rashford is, because I feel he's struggling because he's got Jose Mourinho asking him to run back a lot more than he's used to. Marcus Rashford is just a natural attacking talent and we need to give him the platform to excel, and I feel that Zlatan right now is out of form. And that isn't to say that Zlatan has been playing awfully in a whole performance, because you saw against Burnley his link-up play was sensational. He was really holding the ball up and bringing our players into the attack. But Zlatan is brought into this team for one job and one job only, and that is to score goals. And right now he's not scoring goals. And Man United are struggling because of it. You know, we should have beaten Burnley. We should have beaten Stoke. We could have beaten Liverpool, but that's maybe a stretch because we only really had one chance. And that goal early on against Chelsea might have changed the dynamic of that game, which ultimately ended up in humiliation. And for a player who has built such a fierce reputation, has come into Old Trafford, you know, you can see the King Eric behind me, but Zlatan called himself the God of Manchester. And in his early form, he very much was. You know, he was living up to his reputation straight away. But right now, he's in a massively hot and cold run of form. More cold than hot at the moment. And I just feel that he needs to be dropped and rotated and used inside this squad, just as Rashford, just as Martial is, just as everybody else is, because this squad has so much attacking options. And that game against Burnley, there's going to be a lot of negativity coming out of it because we drew 0-0, but that was one hell of an entertaining game, and we should not have drawn there. We had 37 chances. Tom Heaton had a worldie. Mark Clattenburg had an awful game. Herrera shouldn't have been sent off. We should have had a penalty for when Darmian was taken out, but we just didn't. And it just didn't work out for us on the day. And I just feel that if we need to change things, because we need to, we're 7 points off fourth and it's not even November yet. And you've got Liverpool, Arsenal, City and Chelsea all running away with it at the top of the league. So this season, we're not just going to be chasing one team at the top. There's 4 who are consistently playing very well at the moment, and Spurs are just behind them. So for United to really mount a title challenge, we're going to need to string a good set of results together, because there's a lot of teams above us who are playing very well. It's not just one team we're chasing. I mean, let me know your comments below, but I just feel that Zlatan, although his early season form made it absolutely 100% he was going to start every single game, he shouldn't be playing 90 minutes every match now, not with the options we have. And that's not even including Henrik Mkhitaryan, who still hasn't come into this team. But once he gets injected into this team, maybe for Jesse Lingard, you know, that's going to add so much more into it. There's Paul Pogba, I think it was arguably his best performance, came against Burnley. And for him to have not come away from that game with at least 1 assist, potentially 2 assists, is really doing him a disservice. Because he was excellent. We should have had goals galore in that game, but we just didn't. And the man I feel at the centre of that was Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And when you take praise, you take praise. But criticism needs to be given as well. And I just don't think that he is exempt from criticism. And in a squad which has so many attacking options, I'd like to see Jose Mourinho start using them. Let me know your comments below. Would you like to see Rashford play through the middle? Would you like to see Martial play through the middle? Maybe even Wayne Rooney back in the team? Or do you feel that Zlatan has to start up front because it's Zlatan and we know what he is capable of when he is on form? Let me know in the comments below. This is probably going to be one that divides opinion, but I feel it's something that has to be said because we can't really ignore how bad Zlatan's finishing has been since September the 10th. I mean, as I said, let me know your views in the comments. Drop a like on the video as always and subscribe to United People's TV, and we'll see you soon.